And now, breathe. Just breathe. Within and without. As you inhale, you may begin to notice any sense of boundaries dissolving between your mind and body. Inside, out. Using this breath we call drag inhalation, we discover our truest essence is even slipperier than one may fathom. Now, thinking thoughts of indiscretion, as though they were smoke in a labyrinth of mirrors, you return obsessive-compulsively to your breathing breath. You're blowing bubbles in the wind. The beaming disco light fades into not mattering anymore. Now, breathing slow and necessarily, you may find yourself mowing the lawn that is your search. Focus on the incomprehensibility that is the conceptual framework that is this very situation you again find yourself breathing throughout. And again you notice the voice of the narrator, the myself, whom is actually you. You know who you are is infinitely more than this proverbial isness. By simply morphing the essencelessness and uncertain sense of yourself that makes that you cringe and need the want to squeeze out this senseless essence. Speaking in an unknown tongue, even as you think you are thinking, think silently. Notice the silence that follows the one. Once you hear your shapes, mention the word relax to your gut. And listen for a response that may be disguised as, you guessed it, guess. Now then, to be here now means to be heard through all three ears. Allow your hearing to hear the sound of its own internals. to the guts that commingle in your brain. More and more relaxed and concentrated more or less all over. Quivering in every porous nerve. Bones propped against roots. Flowering and leafing, turning to quartz. As you become this rock, you release any congestions of karma. The river recedes. No matter the matter that we work with, there are always limp fish asleep in the reeds. Washing away your self-assured, the sun dries you as you dance free of the body, moving continually with the consciousness of that complete other that is only your own. Completely at home in your own alienhood, humming inside out like a drum, attentive to the real world flesh and stone. What intricate layers of emptiness, juggling forms ahead. Your non-human tenderness scuttles down dry, endless cycles. Forms within forms, falling, clinging, loosely, lovingly. The bird of the moment appears through the funhouse mirrors of the mind's eyes, chirping.
Regrets not. Chirp.
Now, allow me to introduce to you the means to loosen the modes of the nodes of sense enveloping your body. Allow your sense of humors to dispel any yellow bile that had been living rent-free till this instant in the palace of flesh you call a body. Now only you can choose what love means. But only the you that is I possess the script. You are writing it even as I speak. It is inscribed into your aura, and may only make sense to those who make it, in the sense that only you may make sense of the murky depth we call reality.
Water.
Take the word water to mean exactly that which it does. Now then, tell your minds to never not breathe. Now, just to be safe, tell it again, only this time, meaning the opposite while vigorously wiggling the forehead until you understand the reason why. Breathe in all these words.
Mirror.
You can relax now. Now that you know what what you're in for, you can forget to consciously listen to the sound of my very voice as it blabs its cosmic truths that are all too easy to never forget. Now then, here we were where we are. Now, try to remember what your great-great-grandmother was never able to tell you in person. Now let it go, whilst hanging on to whichever piece of the memory appears the blurriest. Your mind's body's mind more relaxed now than I could possibly convey to you, given the confines of syntax that the body's mind-body dictates. You may now use these enchanted word swords to fill your soul's vessel until you find it more empty than you left it. Now rinse and repeat, this time noticing the different tenses we will have employed in order to make the future perfectly splitting into infinitives. Again, breathe in a word. Any word you wish. Now breathe it out, hexing it from thine vocabulary. Now this time, try choosing something that's not a word. Now, just for fun, pretend that it's real. As real as a pretend reality can be. Suppose that this reality bubble that you may now pop was never even a real bubble, nor was it the metaphor you took it for. Stay with me now. Now what the I that is you mean to say is what I've already said in so many ways. You've been living in dream time, floating along indefinitely. But now, it is time to awaken and do the laundry that in karmic terms is your day job, but in real life is actually your metaphysical shelf life. This is all just to say that which you mustn't ever say out loud, nor could you if you wanted to, for that matter, for upon utterance it dissolves into the sands of timelessness, ceasing to matter. While holding your breath, say to your mind's eye, I am breathing. Then forget it once more for good. Say it. You are now overwhelmed with peace, feeling calm, comfortably numbered. Unclam thy palms, chamomeleon the kneecaps, lavender the throat. Now picture pure plastic Gnostic pot stickers washing over your ovaries or whatever you may contain within your innards. Now, I'm putting you on a time out. So now, if you don't mind, go to the corner of your mind. Now silently intone the word I'm over and over until you really mean it. Parenthesize deep breaths. Stretch the muscles that are your neurons firing the various drugs we call nature's bluff. See now, you see your aura flying up, away, and away, and aura. Green ands and ands of aura Pagnan Faro or Yisui Hanis. It is time to breathe out your pissiest shrug. More and more awake now as you drift off and on in the inner regions of your now fly in an inner tube that is your rubber body on the river that is the metaphor that is time and time again, rapidly breathing the now in, then out, now in. With your back now facing your body and your mind's eye back facing itself, staring into a mirror. You are barely moving the now around. You are barely moving the now around. So as to format the endlessly recursive feedback when all of a sudden a cyclopic crow lands on the mind's eyeball, awakening you to return to full alertness and an ageneral people wavelength. Inhale. Exhale. you're transported seamlessly back to the realm where your eyeball and inner ear are gushing in ecstasy. Feeling feline calmness cooling the methane surrounding our singular energy fields. Inhale through the temple of the nose. Don't stop now, just continue inhaling, feeling your lungs now breaking free of the confines of your body. It assumes the form of a phoenix with a worm roasting in its mouth. The worm, in return, is gorging on the phoenix's tongue and begins growing rapidly, till it is about the size of your intestines. You realize that you may now converse directly with your intestines. At the thought of this, you laugh uncontrollably, just now comprehending their twisted sense of humor. Inhale. Exhale. Remember this now then, now then, here where we were once, twice, 3 times, a lady in red walks through the corridors of your mind's eye. Here you must resist the urge to itch. Inhale. Now. Who knows? You may wish to drift off on a boat of thoughtlessness, full of radiant vibrations. A dragon who is your conscience soars by, roaring the lullaby.
Do what is good for the governor whom we call this environment. It is they who love free clothes we call skin above all else.
You now know exactly what this means. You may undress your eyes now. Blink rapidly so as to oscillate a higher frequency than thou can hear. I said, shh. Now, shut up in a nice way and meditate upon the bowels of the earth. Gradually, you may manifest the greatest experience of your life. It was, and so it is. This is an example of awareness through inaction, or sugar. That inscrutable substance associated with baloney, the god of indeterminacy. As you approach a physical manifestation of your psyche, you are in search of miniature truths, forever static in perpetual movement. Do you sense the other side? You ask yourself, not knowing how to begin to answer in the form of a moon. Beyond. Disillusion. Accommodation is spreading throughout every imaginable neuron. A tough, gamey spirit spits out a goal
been sucked dry.
What does this mean, you ask yourself, knowing full well the answer intuitively without the use of words? Then, rather now, you chew on this question for another few breaths. You may now wish to export your feelings onto the meta-psychical spreadsheet known as CHIP. You wait patiently for further instructions, which or our is prepared to give you upon the formlessness's incompletion of said patient's test. You flunk this test on purpose and therefore pass. You hear each of the creatures inside you slithering around to ease the indigestion. In an uncertain sense, it seems to you that time is no one longer of the essence. Go ahead, roll the ball called the head and see which numbers appear. Most likely, you will hear a zebra in pelican's clothing. Now this may seem surprising, but in the innermost pockets of your head, you will find these triangular bubbly things, and they will seem indistinguishable from the category we call nature. And so it is. Of this fantastic logic you caught yourself spinning, for it is easy to get lost in the interior of an imagination if you don't bring the plunger that is reason. Imagine this transcendent reason is, as it were, a raisin kissed by the sun's sun, the planet Earth. And so it is. You can't listen close enough to the tour guide, whispered the myself, found somewhere in the middle of a relative time cycle. Remove the face, starting with the forehead. Before the forehead is a temple. Inside the temple, you see your mind's eye thinking, what is it? No, this temple is the temple of contemplation. As you open the sacred blossoms of thy garden, listen to the soft footsteps within the wood chips. The term for these are termites. These are magical termites whose every step is a prayer for each of your brain cells. You are listening in complete reverie to the voice of the event, and in the house a firm sense of now cup thy right hand over an orb of pure light, resembling a bowling ball rolling down a lane into its own, free of gutters, thus flooded with thought. Here, in the manner of a roof, you are blessed. Sometimes it all takes an improbable amount of time to understand the ins and outs of the wormholes of the history you find yourself currently weaving through any and every orifice you come across. All right. It's time to put a plug on the pre-verbal greenish-purple plant you wish to grow upside down. Light the bush ablaze with the mind's eyes, concentrated juices. Try not to feel the pain this causes the life forms inside you, as it may upset the comfort level needed to access your feelings for the next step. The next step happens to be a literal trip down the spiral staircase that is figuratively a single strand of your DNA. Allow your body to trip freely the entire way down it. Here it may feel as though there is nowhere to land with such fragile of wings. But even the ether, or either ether or air, is itself a grounding substance with the potential to catch you in a moment whereupon you find yourself dumbfoundingly floundering for a fishing rod in the metaphor for a river that is isness itself, but an acorn in the chicken coop. Floating in an ocean of stock questions and automated answers, you have but one goal: to make a smoothie out of the contents of last night's leftovers. To do this, you realize you must open the door to your meta-psychical refrigerator. This door happens to be magnetized to another magnet that is and is not a part of the door. Inside said fridge, metaphorical fruit flies hang very low, and this is how you know them to be tainted with the mold that is the same primordial mold that your mind was formed from. Remove the mold and add the fruit to the blender. Blend until a novel amount of pulp has been workshopped and reached fruition. Now, the flavor of your smoothie will depend on the context for your attention. So ask yourself, what was I just thinking? Now thread the food through your hands to resume your journey.
Now ask yourself,
how can the fruit of a strange god assume the uncanny form of bacteria or dandruff?
Let alone the suitcase for consciousness that is your entire body.
And now you're getting the picture. You may now unpasteurize the syntax of reality which you find yourself languaging. Begin again. Now start over, channeling the new word order suggested to you in the owner's manual we call life. Hello, and welcome back to the Reflection Spectrum Center for a better-than-life simulated pot of gold. The planets have aligned to assume the form of a present for you. They wish to celebrate your birthday, insisting you've just turned 0 for the first time since the last time didn't count. You've just opened the present. What could it be? Your very own miniature inflatable human. Eagerly, you begin to blow it up with the air you'd forgotten to remember your life depends upon. As it begins to uncrinkle, you hear the hiss of the teensiest pinhole whistling to the tune of golden ratios. And you get to thinking, this present is an ingenious trick played on you by those cheeky planets. Knowing you've been had, you may now only forgive them, remembering what it feels like to be a lonesome planet in an unforgiving multiverse. You may now let go of the butterfly, following the latest trends of chaos through portals leading back now to streams of metaphorian consciousness expressing itself now and again through your elbows' edges. Harmonically speaking, your path has crystallized now before your mind's eye. You see it was always but a hippo in the arms of Socrates' mother's mother, who always smothered him with a love beyond the beyond. And so it is. As you utter the utterly mystic words, you feel your lungs at long last now ready to transfer to the next episode that is germinating deep within as without you. And so it is. Take to be crouching in a dragon selfie pose. Here, take a few deep breaths using every single follicle of hair. Now breathe through your eyelids and make the sound of the shape that you see through your teeth. Now allow your scalp to go completely numb, freeing the forehead and temples. Massage them with positive messaging. Release the eye muscles gently to the left. Hear the ear, nose, chin, teeth, and gums, speaking in the language of each other. Now, allow full flow to the neck of a sense of peace. Oozing out the mouth, or the orifice of your choice. Growing more and more room in your heart. Making space for the heaviest treasure chest that weighs no more than a penny for your thoughts. Let them drift or shatter as their dharma calls for. Moving forth, we see our eyes somehow attached to your spine, dangling from some sort of camera hovercrafty type thing that is the drone of your internal chatter that is not you. No matter where you hover, love and peace follows. Perhaps in the form of dancing skeletons who can't help but smile. Take a deep breath, full of health, happiness, without even the slightest concern for the dark cloud surfaces being offered just under your nose. Let this distraction be a lesson in focusing laser technologies on the only real enemy within. Break virtually free of their virtual strings. Now, when I snap my fingers, you will forget. Drops out that
Now then,
here we were, the buttocks trembling with tranquility. You now find you possess 4 more arms. Use them to tie your other hands and feet tightly to the floor. Now untie yourself and feel the fire, allowing the body's mind-body to break its flow of interrupting the flow. Now breathing ether through every crevice of your teeth, try as you might to transcend dental hygiene. You wonder why these words continue popping up in the darndest of places. Never you mind that. Instead, center the tailbone down to form a spoon eating light ice cream out of the cones and rods of your mind's eyes. But before you can take your first bite, it has completely melted all over your body, which you now find is completely stuck, unable to move a muscle. You ask yourself if you did something wrong to deserve this. To which I can assure you, there is only possibility in the there, here, now. Now then, back to where we began. You may now unstick from the being you continue to be. A ball with a circuit in it is based on the movie version of your brain. let it begin to focus on a bright, red, flashing light. Or if you prefer, a fake flower. Illuminated on the surface of this object are instructions showing you how to install the software for your body. First things first, you must uninstall your previous version and reboot. Here it is vital that you not forget to save the contents of your aura reading to your hard drive that is the great cloud of unknowing. There are no refunds, mind you. Using all your remaining memory for the present moment's momentum, you may now flip over the record and begin to oscillate rapidly, looking up the word spiral.